Hello everyone, today I wanted to take a look at one of the less popular cars in ACC, the Reiter Engineering R-EX. It's a little known fact that the Reiter was named after the coolest police dog in the world. So I assumed more people would drive it, but that's not exactly the case, at least to my knowledge. Because I'm practically a certified idiot, this video is not an in-depth look at the Reiter. It's just an uninformed surface look at the car. Most of my time in ACC has been spent in the Nissan GT-R, a mid-tier front-engine car. The Reiter is a completely different beast. The first thing I noticed when I hopped into practice was that it's very responsive at low speeds, but when you go a little faster, the understeer kicks in, which probably is happening because there is very little weight over the front tires. The amount of understeer was very weird to me. Because it's a mid-engine car, I was expecting way more oversteer when I pushed down on the gas in corners. Now, the oversteer can still happen, but the understeer was way more prevalent. To deal with all this understeeriness, I used the brakes way more often than in any other car. When I got used to it a little bit, it felt like cornering the Reiter was done with the pedals rather than the wheel. Each corner was a challenge, and I had to brake enough to get the front of the car moving in the direction that I wanted to be in. And I used the gas to sometimes move the butt of the car to where I needed it to be. Now, I hadn't experienced this with any other vehicles in ACC. Another quirk of the Reiter is that, in my opinion, it performs fantastically on some tracks and is almost useless on other tracks. This is based on my experience, of course, and it could just be that I'm super catastrophically bad at driving this car. Now, Suzuka was very problematic for me in the Reiter. It has a lot of corners that normally don't require braking, but trying to move this car through the S's was incredibly difficult. The understeer wouldn't let me drive at a decent speed in comparison to others, and in fact, I went so slow that old people nearby started yelling at me. I don't even want to tell you how many times I went off track. Suzuka with the Reiter was a nightmare for me. The opposite is true for Kyalami. There's a lot of corners that require hard braking, which works way better for the Reiter. Using trail braking to move the car through most of the corners feels good and rewarding. Because you're working to get the car through every corner, it really feels like you're accomplishing something when you nail a corner. A few slight bends on Kyalami got me off guard, but it wasn't anything that Reiter couldn't deal with. My verdict on the Reiter is that you should try it out if you haven't already. It really drives like no other cars in ACC, in my opinion. Maybe you can find success with this car, or maybe there's a reason that practically nobody drives it. I think it's a hip and cool and different car. It's not really anything like the other cars, and that's fine. It's hard to drive and probably even harder to master. It brings variety to ACC, and that's something I can never complain about. But it's not the car I would drive in any competitive capacity, because I would be dead last all the time. So, what's your opinion on the Reiter? You like it? Do you hate it? Did it steal your woman and challenge you to hand-to-hand combat? Whatever it may be, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you liked the video, subscribe for more sim racing fun, and as always, have a great day and sleep tight tonight, my beautiful baby boys. Mwah. I love you.